Hello, hello, and welcome to this masterclass. I'm so happy to have you here. And today we are going to talk about the 3 keys to access your true potential. And we will also talk about the most important principle that will totally transform your life when you live by this principle, when you embody this principle. We will talk about how to bend time and how to create momentum when we are stuck. We are also going to dive into the 2 reasons why you are not able to collapse your desires into your physical reality. And we will also talk about what is repelling all the abundance that you are desiring. So let's start with the 3 keys. So the first key is awareness. And if we want to go to the next level, we need to expand our awareness. And we need to master the level that we are already in. So the first key is awareness. Awareness of where we are and where we're going. The second key is about alignment. So when we know where we want to go, we want to become aligned with this, and we want to align our thoughts, our emotions, our actions, our behaviors, everything, so that it supports this. And the third key, ascension, it happens on its own accord. I want to talk about the most important principle, that when we live by this principle, everything starts to transform. And this is about trust, trusting the universe and trusting ourselves. Trusting that we are on the right path, trusting that we're making the right choices, trusting that the universe is providing for us. And when I started to live by this principle, everything in my reality shifted. And now I live by this principle. I live in trust. I feel taken care of. I feel that I'm being provided for. If there's any challenge, I know that the universe will bring me the right solution. I trust that the universe will feed me and bring the right opportunities to me, the right people, the right ideas. And sometimes I do doubt myself. And then I ask the universe for help, and I ask my people for help. And I live in this trust. The 2 reasons why we're not able to collapse our desires into our reality, it's about fears and limitations. So when we come here to Earth, we get programmed and conditioned by our parents, by society, by media. And I know that you know this. When we grow up, we start to form our identity, and we start to form, this is who I am, this is who I'm not. This is what is possible, this is what is not possible. This is what I'm capable of, this is what I'm not capable of. And these limitations keeps us in a shape and in a role that prevents us from doing what we really want to do. And then we try to do what we want to do, and then all these limitations, they come up and stops us. And we have all these fears. We have the limitations and we have the fears. And the fears is, what if this will not work for me? What will happen if it doesn't work? What will other people think of me? What if I go for what I really want and it doesn't work and I fail? So we have these fears of feeling shame or ending up broke or humiliated or whatever. I meet so many people, the clients that I'm working with, they have this vision of what they want to do, and then they are afraid of putting themselves out there. What will my friends think? What will my family think? And these fears are stopping us. And these limitations are stopping us. A lot of the people that comes to me, they say, I feel that I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed to have what I really want. And the people that I attract, they are brilliant people. They are genius. Often they have a PhD or they have a master degree, and they have all these certifications, and they have taken all these programs and courses and educations. So they are like top level, and still they feel insecure and doubting that they are not good enough. Or they are these brilliant musicians or brilliant artists, but then they have these limiting beliefs that, no, I cannot make money out of this. Others can do it, but not me. And then maybe something happened when we grew up that made this imprint that is, it exists within our energy field and within our body. So when we start going for what we want, it starts to get activated. I want to speak in a little bit more into these limitations. It's not only limiting beliefs, it's also how we interpret things. So something happens, and we start to write stories about this, and we make it meaning. So there's a thought happening, and then we entertain this thought, and it starts building up. And thoughts are like electricities, and emotions, they are magnetic. So when we put a thought and an emotion together, it creates this electric, emotional, magnetic vibration. And we start vibrate of this, and we attract it. It become created in front of us. And what happens, it is that we become afraid of creating something that we don't want to create. However, if we can go into the fear and feel it fully, then we can resolve it, and we can become at peace with it. We can become at peace with the fear so that it doesn't have to manifest. So we can allow this fear to bubble up and do its thing and run its course, instead of resisting it. Allow it to bubble up, feel it fully, being totally surrendered and in acceptance to it. And with our presence, with our acceptance, we can allow it to just burn up instead of limit us. And sometimes our fears comes true. But when we live in trust, and when we know how to become at peace, then the fear doesn't have any grip on us anymore. When we live in trust, we know that this too will pass. And this that is happening right now, if it's something uncomfortable, this that is happening right now, it too will pass, and it might bring us to something that we never could have imagined. And this is what I love to do with the people who come to me. It is to resolve their fears and to shift the limitations. And I'm thinking, for example, especially about one client I was working with. She came to me and she wanted to become closer to her purpose work as a light worker. That was her goal, working together with me. And what happened was that in the middle of our coaching container, we had 10 sessions together. Then she said to me, I realized that I am already living my purpose. I am doing my light work just by me being who I am. I am sharing my light just with my presence. And this made my heart sing so much. And this realization, it sticked. So when our coaching container was finished, she was like, I don't doubt this anymore. I know that my presence makes a difference. I know that I'm already a light in the world. I know that I'm already contributing. Something else we did together, it was we worked on some energies around not feeling worthy. And what happened was that when we had transmuted this energy, the first key is awareness, and it is like identify the roots. And sometimes it can be difficult to find the roots because there's a root and then we put all these layers on top of it. It is like we have the root and then there's all these layers on top of it where we feel ashamed because we have this issue, and then we judge it, and then we put all these layers on top of it. So sometimes it takes some time to get down to the roots. But we worked on this issue of feeling worthy. And what happened after that session was that she went and applied for a leadership position, and she had never done that. And she was so proud that she had done that because she had never applied for a leadership position. And she didn't get the job actually, but she said, I'm actually grateful that I didn't get that job because I didn't want that job, but I feel so good that I applied for this job. Then we worked on money issues because she had struggles with receiving money. We worked on this, and what happened after this, it was that she went to her boss. She worked 4 days a week, and she had 1 day to work on her coaching business. She went to her boss and she said, I'm willing to stay here for 6 months on a contract if I can go down to work 3 days a week and you raise my salary. I signed the contract. And she was like, of course I'm worthy of this. It's not a big deal to go and ask for this. And her boss said, yes, we want to keep you. So she went down in time and up in money. And this is what happened when we work on the energy level. When we shift the energy within, then the outside energy is shifting. So the 2 reasons why we're not able to collapse our desires into our physical reality, it is fears of being rejected, of being abandoned, what will happen to me, fear of feeling shame, fear of feeling guilty, all these kind of fears we are having. Fear of failure is a big one. It's a big one. And then there's these limitations. Another huge limitation that I see when people come to me, it is, you know, we have been doing all this spiritual work, and then we are not honest to our feelings. We are dishonest to what we feel. We feel like, no, I have to be grateful. I cannot complain. And yes, gratitude is the highest vibration, one of the highest vibration. And what we focus on, it grows. So when we focus on everything we have, the universe is sending more to us. So when we focus on all the abundance and all the money we have, more comes to us. But if we are in denial and we are doing the forgiveness work, I love forgiveness work. Forgiveness work is so beautiful. I love forgiveness work. But if we are dishonest and we are bypassing our emotions and are not able to transmute that, it doesn't help to pretend to be grateful. So a huge limitation, it is to be in denial and to be dishonest. It's like feel your feelings fully so that we can transmute it once and for all and like burn it up. And I mentioned before, a huge limitation it is that we are writing stories. Like there's a thought, or we suspect something. Someone says something, and then we make a meaning about it. Something happens to us and we make it a meaning about ourselves. Like, oh, this means that I'm not pretty enough and I'm not clever enough and they said no to me, I'm not good enough and all this. And we misinterpreting things and we write these stories, and then the emotions comes up and fueling this, and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I had something happen to me. It's not so long ago. It was last autumn. It was a friend of mine. She was doing something and saying something, and then something got activated within me. A wound within me got activated. And I could see that I started to write these stories. And I was like, oh my God, she might turn into a monster now because I'm expecting it. And I tell you, the fears came up and my limiting beliefs, and like it came up, the limitations that I put onto her and the limitations that I put onto myself. And I started to pray. Please help me rise above my darkness. And it worked. And thank God for that, because this friend, she's amazing. She's amazing. And it's like it takes two to tango, and we can create madness. Another example of this, I actually was in a coaching program with a woman. And then I held a masterclass. And I didn't sell anything on the masterclass. And on the coaching call, she turned into a monster. And she was accusing me and she was persecuting me. And I was shocked. And I was in so much shock, so I couldn't continue coming to the groups. And then I was doing forgiveness work and I was looking at my own shit. And I transmuted it. And then I made a decision. I'm going to go to the next coaching call and I'm going to show up in love, and all is well and all is forgiven. And I could see that I had been co-creating this. It was like I had been sliding down to a lower level of consciousness where I became the victim. But I rose above that. And to go from victim to like being in complete love, it is like there is some way there, like neutrality is the pathway to it, and compassion is this soothing, beautiful energy that can melt up everything. Our presence with acceptance and compassion to what we're observing, compassion to what we are experiencing compassion to the other ones who are involved in the drama. I showed up to the call and I was like, I'm going to show up with my love. And then everything shifted around. And she actually ended up helping me in the most beautiful way. So, you know, in life, our allies can become our enemies, and our enemies can become our friends. And everywhere we're looking, everyone is an expression of ourselves. Everything is an extension of ourselves. Everything is an expression of God. And all of us are making mistakes. All of us have limitations and fears. And it's like, I cannot shift them or the mirror. I can impact and influence. However, I can shift myself and how I react, how I respond. I can shift myself. The one mistake that is repelling all the abundance and money we desire, it is to contract. When we contract, when we cringe, and we go into this darkness, and we go into lower vibrations like, this is not fair, and why does he have that, and she doesn't deserve that, and this is so unfair, and like this self-pity and judgmental, like when it's like contraction doesn't feel good. However, it's part of our human experience. So what we want to do instead, it is to open up, to expand with our presence, with our breath, with acceptance. So when we contract and resist, when we resist the contrasts, when we resist the resistance, because all of us are facing challenges and resistance and contrast all the time. When we resist it, it persists. And what we want is becoming pushed away. When we open up, we allow the universe to shower us with possibilities, with opportunities, with grace. So instead of contraction, we want to expand. Having that said, we also go through seasons. We have seasons where we are a little bit lower on energy, or there's winter, not a lot is happening. Maybe a loved one is dying. So we also want to be able to hold what we are experiencing. I had a period in my life where I wanted to manifest things, and everything I wanted to manifest it started to happen to the people around me. So they got everything that I wanted. And I was like, what is happening? It's like, this is so unfair. It's manifesting in their lives, but not in my life. I'm manifesting for them. And then I started to realize, wow, it's like, I want that for them. I want that for them because they are having the health or the wealth or the beauty or the success. It doesn't mean that they are taking anything from me. And also, when I am experiencing health and wealth, it doesn't mean that I take something from someone else. Like, there is truly enough to go around for all of us. And I used to think, oh my God, I'm working so hard. And is this all I'm getting? Why am I not being compensated? Why am I not being rewarded? Why am I not being appreciated? And then I was showered with appreciation, but it wasn't enough because I wanted money. I wanted money, 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 because I didn't have money. I think money is very interesting because you know, people who win lottery often they get rid of all the money. Maybe they even end up more poor than before they won the money. Is because when we get money, it is like it's amplifying everything. So if we're afraid, we become more afraid. We're afraid that people will steal the money or we will lose it. For example, I inherited money and it didn't take a long time before the money was gone because I was giving it all away. And I was spending it. I also invested in a lot of great things. So it is like we want to become rich within. So we want to become rich within. So it's like if we get a lot of money and we stay poor inside, the money doesn't help. And I have experienced being very rich and being very poor. And with very poor, I mean, yes, I've been very, very, very poor. I couldn't buy my own food. And I knew that that was a humbling process. How to bend time. Bending time, it is that we connect with something in the future, and then we connect with it emotionally, and we embody this vibration in the future as if it's already happening now. And we start to vibrate as we're already having this. And an example of this was, I was living in my father's summer house, and I was very lonely because during winter there were no people there, so I was very, very lonely, and I wanted to move to another home. And then I made a decision. I'm living in my beautiful dream home, rejoicing with loving, life-giving relationships on all sides. And it's like, it was the totally opposite of what I was experiencing, because there were no people there, because this summer place is in a vacation place. So summer times there's a lot of people. During winter, there's no people. But I embodied this vibration, and I'm just like, I'm going to fill up this home with love, no matter what. This is my dream home. That's just how it is. This is what I have now. I cannot just clips with my fingers and then I'm in another home. So I started to embody this. It was pure magic. All of a sudden, my sisters, even though it was winter, they started to come up every weekend. And I was like, what is happening? And then I started to really recognize and enjoy and celebrate my home and all the abundance I have. And I was like, wow, I am living in my dream home. Then what happened, this is a little bit funny. I was on a call with an amazing woman, and I told her, this was half a year after that, I told her, oh my God, I love my home so much. You know, I've never lived in a home that I love so much. Like, I have always loved my homes, but there have always been like difficulties with some relationships. And now that doesn't exist. Like, there's no drama. Like, everything is amazing. And then the autumn was about to come, and then I started like, oh no, it will become empty here, and I want to live in a warm country. Yeah, I want to move. And then I didn't have the money to move. And then I had been talking to my sisters, and then I've told them, oh, I love this place so much, and I love you so much, but I'm missing a community. I'm missing, you know, people that I can meditate with, and, you know, like spiritual gatherings. I'm missing a community, and I'm missing, you know, creativity to sing and things like that. Because my sisters, they are amazing, but they don't meditate, they don't do any spirituality, they don't sing or anything like that. And I was missing that, because that's a huge part of me. Then I was on a call with this woman, and I say, oh, I love this place. I've never lived in a home that I love so much. And I wanted to move to a warm country, but I was comfortable staying there. And then I said to her, I don't know if I want to move. Like, this place is so amazing, you know, like the ocean right outside. And I've always wanted to live by the ocean. Now I do it. And it's so clean here. And, you know, like everything is so nice here. Everything is going so well. And my son loved to be here when he come here, and so on. Then, after that call, my sister comes up and she say, yeah, I've been talking to our father. He says you have to move now. And I was like, what? And I had been telling them that I wanted to move to Mexico, but I couldn't do that because I didn't have the money. And I had sold my car and everything. And I'm like, what am I going to do now? And I'm like, and she said, yeah, then you have to find out a way. You have to find out a way. If you don't have a home, then go to the public welfare. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so humiliating. Should I go there? And then I was like, okay, I trust the universe. This is the best thing that have ever happened. I have no idea how this will turn out, but I'm trusting the universe. And I'm not going to get sucked into any kind of drama. It is like I'm dealing with what is happening. And I'm like, okay, I need some guidance. And then I hear, call your friend. And then I call my friend. And then he say, yeah, but you can move to this other place. An old friend of mine, she had this Airbnb place. Maybe you can rent it. And then I talked to her. The place is fully equipped. So I could just move in. Then she have these gathering once a month where we come and do this meditations and this spiritual sharing, Dharma talks. And then she invite me to a community where we sing, and the neighbors here, they are artists and creatives. And so all of a sudden, the universe were bringing to me spirituality, meditation, and all this artistic. So sometimes when something that appears to be bad, it's actually the universe conspiring in our favor and like moving things around. But it's required for us to actually sit in this trust and really look at our own shit and deal with it. So how to bend time? It is that we connect to what it is we want, and we are honest, like, this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I ask for. And to create momentum when we are stuck, then we want to create something very, very, very easy that can move the needle, something very, 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 very simple that we can do consistently. It can be every day or once a week, but that will move the needle. Something that it is like, yes, this works. I was burned out, and I became very sick. I had pain in my entire body. I couldn't even walk. My brain stopped functioning. When I became better, I could walk, but I wasn't in good shape. And I was like, okay, now it's time to prioritize my health. Okay, what is something easy I can do every day that will move the needle? Then I decided, okay, I can do body awake yoga. 5 minutes every day, 40 days in a row. And I did that. And some days I was so, I had so much resistance, but I went to the mat and I did it anyhow. And my health improved dramatically by only doing 5 minutes of yoga for 40 days. Then I had been journaling. I had my personal trainer. And then all of a sudden I receive an email from a woman. She wanted to gift me a coaching session. And then it was a movement coaching session. Then we met on Zoom. And then she did this 15-minute program. I did it 3 or 4 times every week for 10 weeks. Boof! My health improved even more. Then a Qigong master started working with me. Then I went into doing Qigong. But I couldn't have figured all this out from where I were. So I started with something simple. And this we can implement with our business too. Do something simple that we commit to that is really moving the needle. So we have the end result. I love to set a goal because then I have a target, something to move towards, a vision. So if I want to make $40,000 per month, and if I'm at 0 now, let's just play with the thought. It's like going from 0 to 40,000. It's like, it's a huge jump. It's like, everyone is like, how is that even possible? Yes, it is possible. Like, I can embody this vibration of earning $40,000 each month, and I can have the vision of like, yeah, I'm having group programs and I'm having this amount of clients and they are paying this amount of money. Okay, that's 12 months from now, this goal, right? So if I go back, three months from now, what's the goal then? Yeah, maybe that's 40,000 in total. Maybe not 40,000 per month, but 40,000 in total. Yeah, how many clients are that? Yeah, that might be 8 clients who pay $5,000. But what's the goal now, 1 month from now? Yeah, it starts with 1 client. So the first is 1 client. And then we have 8 clients, and then we have 8 clients per month or something. That's absolutely doable and realistic. But what am I going to do right now? Yes, I need to invite people to work with me. Invite people to work with me. Mm. And what can I do every day? Is there any skills that I need to upgrade in order to realize this goals and this plan? Like, do I need to become better at communication and sales and marketing? Yeah. Can I commit to every day to study some sales and marketing? And can I commit to actually every day start writing marketing materials and do some posts? Can I do some market research? I have done that several times. I've invited people to market research. Then I ask questions like, what are you challenged with? What is it you want to accomplish? What is standing in the way? What do you need in order to realize this? What do you need help with? And then people, they come into my email list and I can invite them to work with me if I can help them. We can the best thing to work with people. Okay, let's go back to awareness, alignment, and ascension. Awareness. Who is it I want to work with? What is it I'm offering? And in the alignment, it is like awareness. People have to know about us. We have to be in their awareness. They have to know that we exist. And in the alignment, we need to connect with them. So we reach out to them, or we go to the places where they are hanging out. And we tell who we are and what we have to offer. So for example, if we want to like speak on a stage, then we want to get connected with people who are booking speakers. If we want to perform somewhere, we want to connect with people who are booking people who offer gigs. If we want to have masterclasses, we have to start doing the masterclasses. We just have to start doing it. And then we will become better and better and better and better. Okay. I've received some answers here. I never know, when I'm going live, I never know what I will, I have an agenda, but I never know what will happen because I always focus on the people that is right in front of me. And I'm all about being authentic. And I believe in being me. And then the right people that will resonate with me will connect with me. But I received some answers when people signed up in this for this masterclass. So the biggest breakthrough is absolute clarity and conviction that I am impactful and capable in my work, and that I'm worthy of being wealthy for my work. Absolute clarity and conviction that I am impactful. The person who wrote this, I know this person. This person is very, very impactful, has made a huge impact in my life. Huge impact. And I'm so grateful that I know you. And I'm so grateful that you have signed up for this masterclass. And I appreciate you deeply. And I know that I get goosebumps. I see the hugeness in you. And I know that you are going to make a huge impact. I just know it. And you have been trained by Mary Morrissey from Brave Thinking Institute. So you have been trained under a master, so you have the right tools. So there is no doubt, I have not a shadow of doubt that you are going to make a huge impact here in the world. And that you are capable in your work. Yeah, but you just have to start doing the work in order to become capable. So you have to start to get your clients. It's like, start doing the work and you are beyond capable. You know, those tools works. So just start doing. And that I'm worthy of being wealthy for my work. Of course, you're worthy of being wealthy. And let me help you resolve that idea. Let's do it right now. Up until now, you were questioning if you were worthy, but you no longer believe in that illusion and that lie. From now on, you know that just by breathing, you are worthy beyond measure. And that my wealth means I can be and do more for others. Yes, when we have more wealth, we can do more. And we can be more because we're able to invest and delegate. However, I know that you are already a child of God. You are already infinitely loved, infinitely creative and beautiful and amazing and blessed. So feel that now, feel that truth of that now and breathe it in. Here's another answer. Be able to make a sufficient income and be brave enough to go for it. Enjoy using my gifts and to help others and be free. Start to recognize all the freedom you already have. And start enjoying using your gifts. It should be enjoyable to use our gifts. Courage and attract people to co-create with. Yeah, I can relate to that. I also want to attract people to work together with. I'm a team person. I don't want to work alone. I want to work with people. So attracting, like start really, really to love yourself and start to show up in your authenticity with all of you, because that is magnetic. Magnetism has nothing to do that we have to be pretty enough or have a six pack, we have to be clever enough. It's like, it has nothing to do with that. Yes, it is like, it can be attractive too, but it doesn't matter. And yes, take care of yourself and like educate yourself and get into shape and decorate yourself or whatever. But what is magnetic? It is who you are. So show up as who you are. Like, be you. That's your thing. Biggest challenge is fear and lack of focus, worry about money. Yeah, the imprinting and the conditioning and the programming from society is hugely, but it is like there is ways to resolve these worries. It's like, yeah, using much time on work that I do not enjoy to be able to pay my bills and make a living. Yeah, I am very, 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 I'm I'm ruthless with my time. I prioritize. Uh, I don't spend time on bullshit. And I have transformed my entire life and my surroundings to support me. So for example, when I moved here, it took me 2 hours to pack all my things. And I don't throw things down in a bag. I put them very nicely because I'm very perfectionistic. It took me 2 hours because I only keep what is necessary. And I say no to people all the time. My landlord, she's amazing. She's inviting me over and over again to things. I say no, I say no, I say no. Then sometimes I say yes. But I'm ruthless with my time. I don't spend time on bullshit. I prioritize what is important. Before I before I thought that I was supposed to like everyone and everybody was supposed to like me, and I didn't want to let anyone down. I don't do that anymore. Not having the courage to feel that I could do some wonderful work which I get paid well for. Shame and guilt about asking for lots of money. This is what one of my teachers say. He say, no matter how much you charge, there will always be people who can afford it. And no matter how little money you charge, there will always be people who cannot afford it. And what is lots of money for you might not be lots of money for others. And for me, I am no longer afraid of asking for lots of money because I know that when I ask people to work with me, I know that it will transform their lives to the better. I know that it will give them more money. It will upgrade their total life experience. I get some money, they get a total new life. But I also have different levels to work with me. I have one-on-one that cost more. And then I have lower investments so that as many as possible can join in. And then I have a lot of free stuff. And do not project your financial lack mentality onto others. You have no idea what channels they have access to. Maybe they say to you, yeah, I'm unemployed right now. I'm a single mom. Yeah, but if you can help them, then they might think that it's worth it and they can borrow money or they can receive a gift. Maybe they have a rich uncle or whatever. Maybe maybe they can get an extra job. Yes. So the first key, awareness. And awareness is also about also shifting our mindset around things. It is like I also believe that it's important to trust ourselves. It is like, maybe it's not the right decision to just quit our job and then jump into something. It is like, I believe that everyone have the answers within them if they just are in the right state of being. So we have awareness of where we are and where we want to be, where we want to go, and then we have alignment. It is like, if we have a triangle, in the bottom we have the doing and the having, and most people think that we have to do this and we have to have this in order to be this, but it's totally the other way around. We have to be this, and then the doing and the having will come totally on its own. Can that be true? Yes, it can be true. It actually is true. Okay, we have been talking about the most important principle, to trust. We have been talking about how to create momentum when we're stuck. Do something super simple. Make it simple for yourself to get the momentum going. It is the same thing if we don't have a lot of money. If we just give a little money somewhere, then we activate the circulation. We don't have to start a group coaching program immediately. Start with one client, start with one session. Start with one gig. Make a list. Okay, I want to perform. Make a list of 50 people. Who can you contact? Hello, I have a performance going on. I have a speaking gig. I have this healing work that I'm offering. I want to put out my art on an exhibition. I want to do this and this and this. Do you know anyone? I'm a psychotherapist. I help help families. Do you know anyone? Contact the football clubs. Is there anyone here in the children who parents who want some help, parenting help? Google, contact the people in the municipality and ask everyone. Do you know anyone? Make a list. How are you getting in front of the right people? How can you connect with the right people? And to open up and expand in order to not, when we close down, the universe cannot allow it in. Open up. How are you feeling, Christian? Would you like to share something? You had 3 sessions with me recently. Would you like to share your experience about that?
Yes, of course. Of course, I would like to. And I can see and hear many of the things that you're sharing here today. I resonate with. Of course, I've known you for a while, so I know the topics that you're talking about, but it always resonates with me, and it feels really good that you are good at presenting things in an easy and understandable manner. So thank you so much for that. Just wanted to tell you. So what we went through the sessions that you and I had, I remember both when you talked about a little bit earlier, this thing with compassion, like we went through something that's called the compassion key. These phrases about letting old beliefs go. We had a visualization, and that was very much about me and my relationship to money. And that was very profound for me, like that visualization, that bodily experience that I had when we went through the first two sessions there. So my main challenges was basically money and relationship, in this case to my ex. And now quite some time had passed after our sessions. And what I want to say is that when we started out the first session, already immediately after, I felt this sort of calmness, this sort of groundedness. It's like, it's okay to be here in the shit, in the chaos, in the whatever is going on, because a lot of things were happening at that time. And from that, being able to detach myself from the chaos and from the outcome also, as you've talked about here today, and feeling more safe. So the two first sessions in combination made me have that feeling inside of me. And you mentioned a little bit earlier with one of the clients that you've had, or other clients that you had, where I think it was a lady, where she also felt that everything was a little bit all over the place, but that she come to this sort of calmness and being okay with being in it. And that's where I am in terms of money and in terms of the relationship to my ex. And these have been two very, very big subjects in the last few months. And now I can see that in my way of relating, if I start with my ex, for example, the way that I'm relating to my ex is with love, it's with caring, it's with, instead of trying to find the faults and trying to find the challenges and trying to make up stories, what she might be thinking, because I know the person, of course, I know her very well. We were together for roughly 8 years. So instead of trying to explain, the story that comes up and trying to explain myself, oh, maybe she's doing this now or that now, just stop, rewrite the story with awareness and be, okay, if she does the thing that she does, I'm supposed to experience it and she's supposed to experience it. It's all okay, back to neutrality. That has helped immensely. And what's happening now is like we have a daughter between us, so we're helping each other way more. And this bitterness, this sourness that I had a tendency to sort of show up with because I knew her from before, suddenly vanished and changed because I started to do this from a loving place. So instead of not being completely honest in some situation, I'm completely honest with her now, saying what I feel and how I feel it. And I learned to put my boundaries up as well and say, it's okay, you have your things today, but I won't take this right now. I think maybe you need to work with that part, and then I will do my own. And then of course I show up, I do the work, so to speak, on myself. So I do some of the things that you and I have been over. I do these, do the visualization, I do the phrases, like I do these things afterwards. I take my responsibility in it. And that is helping immensely. So that it feels really good. It's actually, you can see the results. Maybe they don't come right away because you do need to get out of the experience, of course, that you have just lived. But it comes naturally, slowly, like I'm up spiraling in the when you talked about the frequency before. I can feel it because I don't have the, how do you say, I don't have the same response any longer. There's something else happening, and I can feel that I'm creating it. And when we talk about the money part, one thing is the more money have come in and more money has gone into savings accounts, which I'm having multiple of, because as you also mentioned, it's important to lay down the groundwork. If you don't have a bank account, it's pretty hard to get money into the bank account. So I've started multiple places to put money in, and it stays there. It doesn't disappear any longer, which is amazing too. And on top of that, I feel calm. And the trust that you have mentioned a few times now is that I trust the universe in what's going to show up. however it's going to show up, because I know personally that I will show up with love. And one thing I do, and I've started to do way more, is to give away more money, not from a sort of scarcity point of view, because I sort of understand, reverse engineer how the universe is working, but I give away with love. So if I see somebody on the street and I have a few extra euros, I'm giving it to the person. I add money to like these, when people are collecting money for some specific things. If I have a few coins, like I do that. Or if I'm going from A to B with a locally here in Portugal, it's either Bolt or Uber or one of these car services. I'm always adding an extra tip, because I know that giving away with love is always returned tenfold. And I can see that. And that is actually the action in doing it this way is what makes me feel calm and relaxed, because I know it's really about giving love and allowing it to be received as well. So the last exercise or the last session we had was a lot about letting go as well. We had a long conversation about many things, but I had to go through that. I had to hear myself speak through a lot of it. And the letting go exercise that we did in the end was like, I think I'm good now. Like that sort of feeling that I felt that it's I feel relaxed like in the next steps. And what happened right after, I had signed up for one or two classes regarding wealth creation, nervous system regulation. But what happened is that when I went on to these calls, I went on with a completely different mindset. I'm like, I'm just here. I'm here to receive, but I'm also here to give. So what can I give, and naturally, like, then what will come back. That was the mindset that I went into these events with, and I can just see now the tools that I have from those experiences as well, is because I chose to have that mindset, that intention for the specific sessions, instead of going in and thinking, oh, like I'm going to show up to this event, but I don't think anything's going to happen. Instead, I go in with the intention, I know something's going to happen. I know this is going to be a breakthrough in one area of my life. And it happened each and every time. And I'm like, this started back from when we started our sessions, because I I might have been a little bit in the mindset of all this, and I do understand manifestation. I do understand about mental training. I do understand about human design that I'm all about. But you're really good at connecting it, and you're really good at working on the energetic level. And this is not the first sessions that I've had with you. I've had in the past as well. And there's always some sort of, click, a turnaround, new client, money coming, something else that I can see is something that I didn't fully believe before. But now I'm like, I'm down. Universe, bring it on. I'm looking forward to the rest of my life, because I'm sort of in control with being okay with not being in control, as you explained with it might come around in a certain way, or you might get kicked out of your house in a certain way, but it's usually because something else is going to happen for you that you actually initiated yourself. You just don't know the path, and trusting that path now is very, very freeing. It's very relaxing. And I can give a small example. Like a month from now, at the end of May, actually, I would need to move from the place that I'm at right now, and I haven't found a new place, and I'm probably moving actually back to Sweden. And I think in the past I would have freaked out, and right now I am calm as a I don't know what word to use, but I'm very, very relaxed, because I know it's going to show up in the correct way that suits everyone in our so-called family, with my ex and my daughter. It's going to fall into place. The universe just needs a little bit of time to let all the right pieces come together, and I just trust it. So yeah, that's what I want to say about our sessions.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been such an honor to work together with you. You're absolutely amazing. Um, Yes. And you are a human design specialist, and the way we met, it was actually you volunteered for an interview I made. It was a market research. I do that sometimes. I post on social media. I'm looking for 10 people to interview for a project that I'm working on. And then I think that time I mentioned something like I'm looking for 10 people, artists or healers and sensitives, I think, who are challenged with high performance and overwhelming emotions. I think it was something like that. I have done different projects. And then you volunteered. Uh, and that was really funny because when I interviewed you, I was thinking, oh, I want to work with this guy. And then I actually contacted you and asked you to give me a human design reading, and that have never happened before. Sometimes when I have clients, I ask them to give me a session because I want to experience how they are. But it was very special with you. So I have had a session with you too. It was really amazing. And I also been through your course.
True.
And there was a lot of things that were clicking for me. But you're having a challenge soon, right?
Actually, that's happening in 4 days now.
Yeah.
So that's a human design.
Would you like to share a little bit about that, who it is
Yeah,
for, and so on?
yeah,
Yeah.
I can do that. So it's a challenge based on human design, where we basically are finding out your zone of genius.
Mm,
And I have realized over the years I've been working with human design that many of the people that come to me, they either want to know what is their purpose in being here,
mm,
and if it's not their purpose in being here, how can they practically apply their gifts to their lives or their business.
mm,
So I thought that this might be one of the better ways, now that we're talking about the energetic field around people's bodies, um, and we talk about energy, to combine their energy with what they already know, with what they have experienced in their past, and then take all the gifts that they have and how they energetically put together, and then, well, basically create a manual for how they are to apply that to their lives, or to their business. So I'm looking forward to that. That's happening in the next 4 days here, and we'll see how it's going to go. I don't plan too much before I make a presentation, but I don't plan too many things before, because then it makes room for people's participation. So I think I would say it's more of a workshop, but it's a challenge over 3 days. Yeah.
yeah. So if anyone is interested of this, how can they sign up for this?
Well, I don't go out and just sort of announce, because I am a projector in human design. So what I have done is I've presented 3 slides and I'm sending them out on social media. But where people sign up regardless is basically through Messenger, or it's through Instagram messages there. Um, so, or friends knowing some friends, and then they're forwarding that. So, but I can leave somewhere my Instagram, which is
Yeah.
just Coach Christian Kornbo, and people are more than welcome to reach
Yeah.
out there if they want to join.
Yeah, and if
Thank you.
you can also just send me an email or yeah, connect with me, and then I can connect you with Christian if so on. Yeah. Also, I'm thinking a little bit like the work we were doing together, you and me. It is like when I work with the energy, it is like sometimes there's these instant shifts. You know, I've had sessions with people who have like pain in their back, and then immediately after the session, poof, the pain is gone. And I've also had like a session with a woman. We actually worked 5 hours together. Sometimes when I open things up, I just keep going until it's like feel that I'm done. She got bombarded with clients. It's like it was totally overwhelming, like after one session. This autumn, I worked with a guy. We had 7 sessions together, and he was very challenged financially. And he was a healer, and he had a lot of things about like, who am I to be a healer when I cannot even heal myself, because he had some issues with his back or like shoulder. And like a lot of coaches and artists and healers that come to me, they also have like these huge expectations on themselves. It is like, you don't have to be perfect. It is like, healers, we get sick too. We do. And we're challenged too. It's like, show up as you are. Anyhow, when I connected with him last month, then he said to me that his financial situation was flourishing. And he had also been traveling to Canada, and he was on his way to Spain. And that was also one of his big dreams, to start to travel. So there has been like a lot of amazing things happening for him. I was working with another guy last year, and that was a little bit special because first he landed a new home. He had been moving around and he couldn't land a new home. Then he landed a new home. Then he started to put himself out there and share his music on social media. Then we had been working before together. Then he had been like procrastinating. We had one session. Then only 1 week after the session, he put together a concert. 100 people showed up, and he got 3 new gigs. When we were working together, he landed for a longer container. Then he landed a new home, and he started to share his music on social media. Then he landed a gig, and the stage was prepared, the audience was prepared, the money was prepared, the marketing was prepared, everything was prepared, but he canceled it. And I was like, what? Why did you cancel it? It's like, because he's such a musical genius, right? No, I moved it to next year. And it's like, for me, it is like, I'm okay with that, because I know that if sometimes we cannot hold the new energy because it's such a huge shift, and I don't see that as a failure. I know that when it will happen, he will go on like full on, he will do it. But what he reported to me when we ended our coaching container last year, that for me, it was a much, much, much bigger breakthrough and celebration than this being on stage and all this, which is amazing. I want that for everyone. I think that people who are meant to be on stage, they are meant to be on stage and shine and share their beauty and their art and everything. But what he shared, it was, I realized that I had used years and years and years trying to figure out what's wrong with me. And now it's time to focus on what I want. And I see that this a lot with us coaches and healers and people in the spiritual world, that we're looking like to the past. And me too. I catch myself sometimes. It is like, oh no, now I'm modeling around in the past. Like, yeah, my father, he did this, and my sister, they did this, and my ex did this, and oh, in my former career, and blah, blah, blah. And like, what's wrong with me, and blah, blah, blah. But this guy, he had this realization. It's like, there's nothing wrong with me. Why do I use all this energy trying to figure out what's wrong with me? So for me, that's a much bigger breakthrough. Anyhow, so I think that we are finished for today. I would actually like to share something. Everyone who have stayed to the end, I actually have two gifts for you and one invitation. The first invitation, it is next Wednesday. It's April the 30th. Do you say that on English? 30, the last of April, at 5 p.m. Central European Time. You're invited. The same Zoom link. It's a free Q&A, and I give transformational coaching. If 1 people come, I will do coaching for 1 people. If 10 people come, I will do coaching for 10 people if it's time for that. I focus on the one who's right in front of me. So next Wednesday, same time, same channel, transformational coaching and Q&A with me. You can ask me any questions. And then I have 2 free gifts. Let me see here if I can share. Yes, okay. Oh, did it? Okay. The first gift, it's a meditation. So you go to shamaneliza.com/real, REAL, and it's a free meditation designed to connect you with your authentic self, your next level upgrade and potential, to connect you to what is calling and what your heart is longing for, and the highest expression in form that is currently available. And this is about calling in you doing your purpose work and living a genuinely fulfilled life, because we want to be fulfilled in all areas of our lives, right?
Eliza, I
Yes.
don't see the screen here, so I just want to make sure that it's actually showing so the participants can see what you're sharing.
Okay. Can you see now?
Yes.
Okay. So you go here to shamaneliza.com/real, REAL, and then you enter your email and your name, and then you press access now. So enjoy this free meditation. And then I have another amazing gift. And then you're going to, now it has paused again. Yeah, you go to shamaneliza.com/action. Can you see this, Christian?
Yes, it just came up now.
Okay, so if you go to shamaneliza.com/action, then you can book your free business breakthrough transformational coaching session with me. And it's a 45-minute coaching session. And during this session, we will work together to create a crystal clear vision of your soulful business success that is in perfect alignment with the lifestyle that you would like your business to provide. And during this session, we will also uncover some hidden challenges that might be blocking and sabotaging the growth of your purpose-driven business. And you will leave this session inspired, energized, and once and for all feel like, yes, now I'm going to turn my business into an authentic, highly profitable and revenue generating machine that is allowing you to expand your impact. So you go to shamaneliza.com/action to book your free spiritual business coaching session with me. And it's totally free. So I hope to see you next Wednesday for the Q&A and the transformational coaching. Yes, it's the same link as this Zoom link. And go and grab the free meditation at shamaneliza.com/real and book the business coaching session at shamaneliza.com/action. And I'm so happy that you have been here with me. It's been a pleasure. And if you want to participate in Christian's challenge, then send me an email or connect with me on social media, or you can search for Coach Christian Kronborg. Is that right?
That is correct. That is a Danish name or Danish last name. So yeah, it's a little bit tough, but that's correct.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for today, and I'm super looking forward to connect with you. Bye.